Well, it's happening, everybody. Welcome back to Carnivore Coaches Corner. This is our 10th session. We are going to be going over writing workout plans and writing nutrition plans. So, any questions that y'all got for that, go ahead and fire away as we're going. We're going to start with Coach Mark on that one, and then we're going to go to Jonathan. Then I'll wrap up on how I write my workout plans. Then we're going to go into nutrition plans and get a feel for how all of us do it as coaches, because I'm genuinely curious. I've been doing this for 3 years now, full time since the pandemic. And Coach Mark, basically the same thing. Jonathan, I think you've been going a bit longer. But yeah, I'm excited to see how you guys do it. So, Mark, how do someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to take my physique from point A to point B"? What's that look for you? What's that look like for you behind the scenes in terms of training and writing a workout plan, man?
Okay, so all I look for when I'm bringing somebody on is basically their weight and their height and what they actually want to do going forward. And then what I do is I write the plan out. I make sure everything, their macros are all weighed out in grams. We don't do calories. And then I set up the training program. I keep mine very, very basic. I just write stuff. I write it all down. I'm not into all this typing stuff and apps and all that kind of stuff. I try and keep it as simple as possible. But what I'm very good at is giving them as much accountability as possible. So my clients are speaking to me on a regular basis, like pretty much every second day.
Nice.
Right on.
So that's pretty much how it's done. I mean, when they come on, I'll look at them, I'll look at the figure, and I'll say, right, what this is going to be a good guideline. So I will always start them on a high amount of food, and then I'll basically titrate the food as we go along. So if they're losing weight, they're toning up, we're going the right direction. If they're not, then I'll titrate the food down. I'll either titrate either the fats or the proteins, fats or proteins, depends on how they're looking. So if they're looking to build muscle, I'll probably increase the protein, and I'll probably maybe a 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to fats and protein. If they're looking to lose weight, I'll probably bump the fats up a little bit higher, and I'll actually bring the protein down. And then once they get fairly lean, this is when I'll start reverse dieting them back up again. So this is where we'll get them up to exactly where I want to be, at least a 1-to-1 ratio when it comes to proteins and fats. And then as the process continues, they'll be going slightly higher protein and lower fat.
That's brilliant.
That sounds cool.
And how do you go about and you video chat back and forth with your clients, right, Mark? Or because you don't really train anybody in person, right?
No, I have check-ins every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I go through about 12 to 15 a day.
Awesome.
And then all I get from them is they'll send me on some videos of the training. They'll send me on their nutrition, and they'll send me on their pictures. And if it's something that can be easily rectified, I'll usually send them back a voice message just saying, listen, this is what you need to do. We don't need to get on a call. I've never used any systems like Trainerize or anything like that. I've always felt the best way for me is speak to these people directly so they know exactly what they're doing. I used to use the apps before and I found them absolutely rubbish. I lost a lot of clients doing it that way. And I feel now we have more of an intimate connection, which I love. I love having the banter with my clients. I love making sure they're reassured. I love the whole point that they're well looked after. Because I'm working with clients now. I've got clients with me now for the last year and a half, and they haven't left. So I must be doing something right.
Man, where were you when I started online coaching 3 years ago? Before everybody told me to go on an app, because that was the worst. I think Taylor and I will both agree that was the worst business decision that we made last year. Was going from everything that was working to an app. I'm not going to say the name of the app, but it was a bad idea.
Yeah. And for me, like when I'm taking somebody on, I'm always looking what's the long-term vision. So I never give them I never say to them, okay, listen, what do you want to do in like 3 months? I actually work out the plan for them. So I'll say, right, in the first 3 months, this is what we're going to do. The second 3 months, or say after that 3 months, this is what we're going to do. So they know what they're going to do for that full year. So they're excited. So every week I'm making sure that every single one of my clients are excited. I know if they get bored, then that's down to me. I'm not doing my job properly. So when I give them a plan, it's very, very basic. It's very, very simple. It's very, very simple to do. I focus a lot on health. I focus a lot on gut health. I focus a lot on how you feel. And then, because I feel once you have those ticked off, everything else is going to be a lot easier. Your training is going to be a lot easier. Your family life is going to be a lot easier. Your work life is going to be a lot easier. So the whole diet thing is just going to be busted, and it's just going to be like, this is not a diet anymore. This is actually a lifestyle.
Yeah,
It should be
I
a
like
lifestyle.
that, Mark.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Mark, your approach sounds very valuable to people. You know, your value proposition as a coach is very, very good. The accountability side is something I find very helpful. I mean, you know, it depends, of course, who you're coaching as individuals. You know, is it a lifestyle client, or an athlete? An athlete, you can say, you know, do this, and this, and you have to do this, and blah, blah, blah. You might get a better response, but, you know, some people, they might struggle to follow sort of very strict plans, or, you know, they just need some simple advice, some guidance, accountability. We check in, give them a few voice notes, set them on the right track, you know, keep it really simple. So I value that approach a lot. It's a good shout.
And I also feel like I love taking on people that have tried absolutely everything. I mean, everything. They went to the doctor. They just were told, like, listen, you need to go to a different country, get surgery. That person is my ideal client. If I was to say, like, who is my ideal client? My ideal client is somebody that's been down that dark hole with health, and there's no other way out. You are perfect for me. Absolutely perfect. I do work with other people, like with especially with guys. Guys can be a little bit, how can I say, they can be a little bit more aggressive in their approach, whereas women just get to work. You could say to a woman, listen, just there's your program, and they'll come back to you, and they'll be hitting their PRs every week. They'll be smashing the workouts, whereas the lads, the ego would kick in, when they're doing the lifts, they could be doing overtraining. They could be lying to you, and it makes you look foolish because it takes time to actually see these things for yourself. But over the years since I've been doing this, I can actually pick it up very, very easy now. And I'm very, very good at calling people out. I think that's what people go to me for, because I can actually pick something out very, very quickly. And I'm to the point. I also think that's a strong point that I have also. I don't take any bullshit. If you're following that plan, you'll be told. If you're getting lazy, you'll be told. Because at the end of the day, when I hear people saying, like, I couldn't help myself from eating this ice cream, I couldn't help myself eating this bar of chocolate, I'm like, are you an adult or are you a child? So I'm gonna treat you like an adult. I'm not treating you like a child. If you want to be treated like a child, you're better off signing up with somebody else. If you want to be basically skip your way through this, then you're better off going to a local PT down the road. Like, if you're coming on board with me, we're getting results. It's as simple as that. And if you don't like my approach, well, then I'll actually push you to somebody else. And I have done it in the past. I've seen some people that have been pure lazy. You're wasting my time. You're wasting my energy. So move on to somebody else.
This is a people business, and chemistry plays a big part in it. You know, there's some people that are just meant to work together, and there's some people that just aren't. And I think I've lost 2 or 3 clients this last year, and we're still on great terms with them. Like, I still check in with them every couple months. Like, hey, how you doing? Hey, how you? And we'll call and shoot the breeze. But there's just a couple. There's just some. I mean, if you're type A and you're coaching someone that's type A, the student needs to be coachable, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And same thing with the coach too. And sometimes it's a matter of someone needs to grow up and mature a little bit, and sometimes it's a matter of, you know what, maybe we're just better off friends and being more motivational, like pen pals or something. Yeah.
And then in regards to the way I do the plan, so what I do is I just copy and paste the whole plan, like the introduction, all that kind of stuff. Like, and then what I do is I just mess around with, say, supplements or the food or the training. So I have some people that are doing, I'd say about 90% of my clients are on an upper lower split or a full body, because they're a bit like beginners. I have very, very little clients that do like a push pull leg. But most of the people do like it's just all based on not upper body, like full body workouts. So we're hitting the legs pretty much 3 times a week. But one day it could be glute focused, one day it could be quad focused, and then it depends. If I have women coming on, I'll always focus on more the glute area. So we'll probably do 2 days a week when it comes to legs, and then we'll do 1 quad dominant day on the 3rd day. I like to start off with 3 days because these people are, again, they're only starting, and for me, what I'm looking for is like perfect technique in the gym. So I'm not looking for them going in a gym, sitting on a stationary exercise like a chest press or a shoulder press and just moving the weight up and down. For that first 2 months, we're focusing on like compound lifts. So we want to make basically the best out of as little time as possible in the gym. So most of my clients are like me. They have such a busy lifestyle. They just want to get in and get out. So I don't see any reason or any point in giving them a full body workout when they're just going to sit on one exercise, do a few reps, and that's it. I want to make sure they're challenging themselves. So I could give them, let's say, something like a clean and press. That's going to pretty much hit the whole body. Some of them will do squats, some of them will do hack squats. It just depends on the individual. And again, it gives them that foundation that when we go on to the next 3 months, they're one step ahead of everybody else, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I like the idea of keeping the sort of training side of it very simple and getting the most out of the little as possible. A lot of people that get started into this, they always think it's a case of doing more. The case is, in a lot of cases, their recovery is not great. They're just spinning the wheels, sat on a treadmill, sat on a bicycle for like 5 hours a week and not getting the results that they want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's another thing as well. Like I don't have not one of my clients doing cardio. The only cardio we do is pretty much outside the training. So nobody does any cardio. We'll probably do about a 5-minute warm up at the very, very beginning, but it's just all weight training in the gym. And then in the afternoon after work, maybe they'll walk home from work just to get those steps in. If somebody wants to add more intensity to their steps, I'll get them to wear a backpack or something with probably a few bottles of water in it just to add a little bit of weight. Or maybe I'll get them to walk around with some ankle weights, but never do I ever mix cardio and weight training together, ever. I think it's a bad recipe to have.
Yeah, you have to be specific with your training. You can only really achieve one goal at a time. You just split these things up as best as you can.
Yeah, and I think that's what I love about bringing on women, because we all know that the minute you mention weights to women, they're like, oh no, I can't do that. Like, I don't look like a man. But I love, for me, when I take somebody on, it's an education process. Like I can virtually tell you right now that any one of my clients would tell you from the beginning they hated weight training, absolutely hated it. Now every single one of them love it because they have a plan. I give them that plan. I say, this is what you need to do. You need to chase your numbers every week. All I want to do is just get stronger. Get stronger on those different rep ranges. So we don't go into the gym and we do like 5 sets of 12 or 6 sets of 12. We're getting stronger on all rep ranges. Like one exercise could be a set of 6. Another exercise could be a set of 20. It just depends on what day it is. And it's just about like testing your body in different areas and not just focusing on, okay, I just need to go into the gym and all I need to do is pretty much every single exercise and I need to just go to a set of 12. Because like at the end of the day, muscle doesn't know how much weight you're actually lifting in the gym. It doesn't have a clue how many reps you're doing either. So all I'm doing here is I'm just saying, right, show me the lift. Show me how you're doing it. Okay. I'll look at that and I'll say, right, before we actually add more weight to that bar, what about if we try this? What about if we slow it down a small bit on the way down? Let's see if that makes a difference. Will that make a difference? Of course it will make a difference. Now, what I want to do here is I want you to really, really think about the muscle driving in certain areas. So let's say we're doing like a chest press. Again, we'll focus on bringing the humerus across the chest. We'll focus on bringing the biceps together. Really, really activate the chest. So what I get a lot of people to do is at the bottom of the movement on the chest movement, I'll always get them to stop. And I'll say to them, okay, now, before you push that weight up in front of you, you need to make sure you're initiating the chest first. So I want you to arch your back in, arch your shoulders into the bench, stick your chest up really, really high, and really, really squeeze that pec on the way up. Within the first rep, they can feel it. And that's what I want to see. I want to see absolute perfection. I want to see really, really good form. And I absolutely love my girls outlifting the men at the moment. I absolutely love it. I love them seeing lifting deadlifts, and it just makes me so proud because I've took this person that when their confidence was literally on the floor, and now I'm turning them into a fucking machine.
Yeah, nice. It's a whole learning process, isn't it? As much as being a coach is about getting people results, how you get there's the key underlying factor. You know, you got to be able to teach people as well, not just, you know, just do things.
I think that's important, Jonathan.
Like,
yeah,
give them a plan. You know.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think it's very, very important that when people look at coaching, it's like, okay, I'll give you a plan and I'll give you a nutrition plan, and that's the end of it. But like you said, it's more than that. It's like it's actually coaching them. Like, I love talking to my clients regularly. Like, my phone is always there. They can always ask me as many questions as they like. They know I'll always be there on the other end on the phone. And that to me is a sign of a good coach, that when you ask a question, you're not going to be waiting 2 or 3 days for a reply.
Yeah.
You're going to get a reply off me within an hour.
You are
of course.
You are so fast on those, bro. Because I'm copied in a lot of those too. If it's someone that like we're coaching together and someone asks a question, bam, you're just right there.
Yeah, because I don't see the point. Like, I know if that was me and I had a coach, like, I want someone to take the overthinking away from me. So I don't want to get myself ever into a situation where, what about if I do this? Or what about if I do that? Or what? Because what will happen is these people actually go too far ahead of you, and you'll have to run after them. Whereas if you have this 50-50 relationship and everything's running so smoothly, your stress levels are going to be perfect. You're not going to be worrying about anything. Everything's just perfect. If I have to go chase you and we're struggling, then the next day I know I'm going to have a shitload of work to do, and that's something that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I'd rather just deal with it on that day so I can get out of my life the next day.
Yeah, completely. Good, effective communication is important. Makes your life a lot simpler, and especially when you're starting someone up with your training diet plans, they're probably looking at you thinking, "This is completely different to what I've done before, or I've not done anything like this before." If you can tease out all those issues earlier on, it makes the whole situation less stressful, a lot more easier.
And I think
questions is good.
Yeah, and I think if you do that, you're guaranteed 100% you're going to have a client for at least a year. 100%.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no doubt in my mind. Why would they leave? Why would they leave? You're giving them everything they want. You're getting them the results. It's kind of like a friendship, but it's more of a professional relationship. So you're giving them exactly what they want. Why would they go to another PT? Like, if someone came to me and they said, right, I'm leaving, I'm going to another PT, I would be really, really angry at myself. I'd be saying, okay, where did I go wrong? I wouldn't be blaming them. I'd be blaming me. Okay, I'd be saying, like, okay, I'd be looking through everything. And I think that's what I've done over the years. I've actually learned more about when a client leaves me, how can I actually improve my service even more?
Yeah, it's always best to over deliver.
And you can't take 100%. You can't take it personal either, too. You have to go, okay, is this person critiquing me because I'm a bad coach, or is this person, does this person literally legitimately have a reason to move on to a different coach? I lost someone to Robert Sykes last year, of all people. So I'm like, okay, if you're going from me to Robert Sykes, then great. I mean, I can't blame anybody for that. You know, that's where I learned like 99%, where I've learned like 99% of my stuff from lately. And that was just going back to the app too. That was, you know, this person was waiting on me to get them a workout plan, until Sunday night at way late at night when they were going to be hitting that workout Monday, and then like I could finish Monday's plan, but I have to go back and do Tuesdays, and it was just a nightmare because of the infrastructure. And so going back to the way that we do it now, anyway, didn't mean to.
No worries. Do you want me to keep going, or is that it now?
That's
I think you outlined it pretty well, Mark. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much. Do you want to start that next, Colt?
Yeah. I got it for sure. Okay. So, I'm pretty old school. I know that I know that apps are the thing to do, and that pretty much everybody that I know does Trainerize. I don't know really anybody else that does it this way, and I wouldn't actually recommend it as a coach. I think I'm a better coach than a business consultant. But so basically, our business model is YouTube is our A game, right? And then so from there, I have a playlist of about 300 demo videos that you can just like go and pick through and search whatever exercise you're looking for. I've got every single body part absolutely covered. Basically from every angle, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. But it's like a million videos up at this point, right? Because we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah.
So I've taken all of them, embedded them in a Excel document, and then have everything filtered there. So when I go to write a new plan, I open up a blank Excel spreadsheet, and I got this person's physique right in front of me on my iPhone, right in front of my desktops. So I have right in front of my desktop, that is. So I have monitor 1 has my database on it, and monitor 2 has the plan that I'm writing. And then I'm just staring at this person's physique, going, okay, what do we need to improve? What do they want to improve? There's things that I think people should improve. There's things that they should improve if they're gonna if they're training for a competition. And there's just some people that want their body to look a certain way because they just want bigger arms, or they just want bigger legs, or whatever. And that's their decision. So anyway, I'm basically going back and forth between all three of these. Oh, there's a rule in this office too. If the door is closed, the door cannot come open. So like, kids can play in the office as long as they're quiet. Anybody else can be in the office, but nobody can go in and out, because it requires so much attention, and there's so much going on through my head to where like the slightest thing will distract me from doing this. So it takes.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Okay, yeah, dude, you and I are so similar on this. we have the same mental dispositions, I think, when it comes to being focused and in our zone, and like one small thing, like accepting a phone call, anything. I just lose it, and then getting back into the groove and starting all over again. I just can't do it. It is office time is 100% dedicated towards whatever I'm working on creatively at the moment. And to me, it's an art, bodybuilding is an art and a science. I've been an artist my entire life. I mean, you guys know me, my background's in stand-up comedy, music performance, and just doing show after show after show with a coach during most of those shows. And really at this point, it's just a culmination of about every single training technique that I've found underneath the sun to try to keep growing and, deny the fact that I'm probably getting close to my genetic potential at some point. But it's artwork to me, I guess is how I look at it. I'm looking at this person's body going, okay, how can they have more muscle definition? How can their skin be tighter? How can they see their muscles better? How can they have better proportions and a better silhouette? And posing comes down to a lot of that too. How you present your physique. Your physique is only as good as you can show it, right? And so these are things that I'm thinking about, and I don't know. It probably takes an hour and a half to write a program from start to finish, with that person's meal plan and everything there. I almost kind of wish we would have started talking about nutrition first, because that's usually where things start. But in terms of weight training, that's usually how I go about doing it. Now, in terms of where someone, I guess let me put it this way: I don't have a basic beginner plan. I don't have a basic intermediate plan. I don't have a basic advanced plan. It's like I don't know how you can do that if you really treat this sport as an art. Every single client that comes to me, or someone that is or this could be consultation, this could be coaching clients, whatever. Everybody's body is so different, and everybody's lifestyle is so different, and everybody's physique is so different. Everybody's at a different point in their fitness journey. And so to be able to say, this workout plan worked great for this person, this will work great for you too. As an artist and as a coach, I get, and as a competitor, I guess I can't write a workout plan that way. It has to, we have to just start over with every single person. Okay, this is this guy. This is what he looks like. This is how healthy he is. This is what he wants to get out of it. Okay, what exercises are going to get him from where he's at to where he needs to be. to have a system that's periodized over the course of a year with an exact end goal. I mean, that's great, but I'm just finding that taking things 1 month at a time with everybody is working best. Whenever I try to plan something a year out in advance, whether it's a business goal, a physique goal, there's a lot of things that come into play that you just that you didn't account for, and sometimes you need to reassess those goals and go, okay, this was all great until my doctor said that, wow, I really need to watch my liver panels, and so maybe I should be eating less protein or whatever. But to have a set starting point and end point is tough, and so basically, I look at it the same way that my music that my saxophone professor taught me in college, which is you need to find where your inability meets your ability and live there. So every single person's workout plan should be written in a way that it stretches them, but it doesn't completely kill them and overtrain them. It should get them. Yeah. It should be exercises, especially virtual online coaching. And I found this out real quick too. The biggest mistake as an online trainer when I first started was having everybody do behind the neck presses and everybody do everything that was working for me, even though a lot of them are twice as old as me. And behind the neck presses for me are great. I love them. I know they're bad for my shoulder, but they're really good at growing the shoulders. And so, these are things that I've learned over the years and have to consider now, taking from someone from, okay, what can they do? What are they familiar with? And what are they unfamiliar with? Let's push them, but not too hard, and just keep minimum effective dose in mind. And that's something I've really learned from you, Mark, and Jonathan. But you don't need to do insane amounts of volume. More is not always better. You need to improve from workout to workout, but that doesn't always necessarily need to be by pushing more weight. It doesn't need to be by doing something that's a training technique that maybe your body's not even ready for. To be completely honest, guys, last week this is not your fault, but I went way overboard on the rest pause sets because I was amped about it, and I didn't think that I didn't realize how fast the volume was adding up. But I was shot by the end of the week. I trained 5 days and I was done. I could not train on Saturday and Sunday, and so I took 2 rest days. I haven't done that in years. 2 rest days in a row. I feel like I should get some applause or something for that, because you guys know how much I tend to overtrain. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you do it. Deserve an applause. I won't clap too loud because the girls are asleep, but yeah, definitely deserve an applause for that. It's good to hear.
Right on, bro.
Yeah.
Nice. So that's pretty much it. How do you do it, man?
Yeah, so I am the composition consultant. I think it's important to have a consultation first with people prior to giving them any plan. Of course, that will cost someone more money, but it means the plan itself will be more effective because I've a better outline of what the person's like, what they like to do, how they tolerate different things, their ability to deal with stress, how close they stick to their diet. And there's always things you pick up at a consultation which you wouldn't otherwise get through a written format of like email, what I am keen on learning at the start is what are that person's goals. I like them to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time managed. If they're not those things, I could just be, shooting anywhere.
Can you repeat those again, bro? Sorry.
Specific, measured, achievable, reliable.
That's an acronym, isn't it? SMART.
Yeah. Smart.
I love it.
Yeah, basically that. So from there, I can sort of work out, okay, that's what they're looking to try to do. I'll then also pinpoint what their current diet is like and how that's fared for them so far. So as much as it's good for me to just take a person up, face value to say this is what you're doing, I want to know what didn't work in the past. And then I can sort of make assumptions based on that. And of course, you'll never know exactly what to do because we're not mind readers. We're not perfection. We can't be perfect with our diet plans and training plans. We can strive towards it. Of course, once I've got their stats, maybe like the body fat, any measurement they've got, which I can reliably find and sort of interpret and use that as a gauge of their progress and success. That's what I want to know as well. So, as we look like bodybuilding coaches for the most part, people that are concerned about body composition, we're looking at what does that person look like when they see themselves in the mirror each day. So I want to see what that person sees. I want to know where they want to go. So from there, I'll then create the plan based on that. And the way I do that is written out start to finish, typing on a computer, old-fashioned, no forms, no sheets, nothing. I see the value in those sort of things, and for me, I prefer to write things out. There's some kind of authenticity that my clients really, really like. They like to see that I've written something out, it's direct to them, there's nothing copy and pasted, so
It's more personal.
of course, like Colt, it's really valuable that you've got with your clients, the spreadsheets and things, the things where they can click on a link to see a video, they can work out what the exercise is, you got a way to show them. So that's something I'm looking to do with my services at some point in the near future. Of course, then what I'm going to be doing is taking what their current diet or training plan is and adapting it very slightly to help them reach their goals a bit nearer. So it's never a case of changing things overnight. It's usually just guiding them slowly along the way. Of course, if that person lived with me, I was in charge of cooking for them and trained next to them, of course, I'll change things a bit quicker because I could guide them through it more effectively. It's less of a stress because they wouldn't have so much to think about. They'd have someone by their side to sort of deal with it all. Of course, most of this is international. I mean, I've got clients in Australia, Belgium, Netherlands, I don't know, Germany sometimes, Poland, US, Canada, all over the shop. Mm-hmm. So when I'm speaking with these people, it's often odd times of day. And one thing I pride myself on, which I'm sure Mark does as well, is that these people get quick responses. That's in spite of the fact that they're the other side of the world. I'll find a way to get back to them as soon as possible, and I don't leave them hanging when they've got a question. So one thing that I have that's mandatory for them in their check-ins, which is usually on a given weekend day. It doesn't have to be, but that's the day that I usually suggest to people because that's when people usually have less to do. And I'll just say, check in the form that I share with you. I do say nowadays it's mandatory because people won't fill it in sometimes, and they'll just leave it and wonder why they're not getting results. But basically, what that would be is a scale like 1 to 10 for different measurements I want them to provide me with. Maybe like strength levels, perceived exhaustion, fatigue, how the sleep is, all these different things, stress, like any sort of measurement they can give me, which is objective, that they can look back and say, I have improved or have not improved this week. And in most cases, it starts at maybe 7 or 8 and it finishes at 9 or 10. And that's over a 4-week span. So I find that quite gratifying to see that happen myself. I know then I'm on the right track for whatever they want to try and achieve. And of course, they have sort of an area to check in with me through the consultations if they want to book one in. That's if they need additional support. I tend to feedback and forth voice notes as well. So if there's something that needs particular explanation or a bit more detail, I'll sometimes sit there on my phone and just explain to them for the mobile phone for like 10 minutes. At the end of the check-in form, they can put in as much detail as they want. So if, for example, client A checks in with me on week 2 and they've got 20 questions, they'll get 20 answers. So for me, that's not a problem. The more detail they give me, the better my support can be. So I do work on a slightly different way to Mark. So Mark's approach is perhaps more useful for people that want the accountability and need that like helping hand kind of thing to sort of show them exactly what they need to be doing, like almost like the no shit kind of approach, But I find that most people I work with are very accountable and they just follow the plan for the most part. So for them, it's just a case of following the plan. That's literally it. And they check in with me weekly, and that works really well. I've only lost one client, I think, this year. One client this year, and that's because they were trying to lose a heap of fat in 1 month. I told them, this is only a 1 month plan I'm giving you here, but chances are you're going to feel really crap if I give you the plan that you want for your goals. They said, no, it's fine. Push me sort of thing. They checked in once, then never fed back to me again. So, there's an element that Colt rightly mentioned. You have to be coachable. If you're going to have extreme goals, you have to accept that sometimes these things are hard to stick with. If you're going to give them an extreme fat loss plan. But, what I ask for people is they provide me with honest feedback. Then I deliver them close towards the goal that they want. If they give me loads of questions, if they give me loads of feedback, they'll get loads of responses. They'll get much more support. So I work on that kind of element as well. So in a nutshell, I'm big on handwriting things. I'm big on the personal touch. I'm big on the authenticity. I'm big on honesty. I'm big on being approachable. So if I say something and someone's like, I'm not quite sure, if I explain it again, they still don't know, I'll leave them a 5-10 minute voice note. I'll explain it in explicit detail. If someone's really not sure of an exercise, I find video technology is really useful nowadays, so we can obviously see what our clients are doing in the gym. I don't want to just send someone a video of what I think is good based on what someone said on YouTube, like, you know, like a bodybuilder said, like Ben Pecorsi said, oh, this is how you do squats. You know, it's good to be sending a video. Yes, it gives them a guideline, but I want to see how they're doing it. That's what matters. What they're doing in the gym matters to me most. So I want a video of them doing squats in the gym, you know, with the right weight, the right intensity level. I can easily pick out what they're doing wrong if they've got a problem. So I'll adapt the training plan to suit them. So if a client comes to me, I'm doing squats and my knees are sore, look at the squats themselves. Is there a problem with the squat they're doing? Yes or no? If there's no problem and there's no sort of indicated reason to keep the exercise in, then I'll change it to a leg press or something else. You know, so I'm highly what's the word? Adaptable in that kind of sense. You know, but yeah. What client gives me is what I give them back, and that's it in a nutshell, I think.
Yeah, I think you've nailed it. I think I'm pretty much the same as you. I'm not interested in what these people have seen on YouTube. I want to see exactly what you can actually do. So, like you mentioned, like some people can't do a squat, so I'll say, right, let's do something else. Or somebody might come to me and say, well, I want to work my legs, but I haven't got the genetics to do a squat. So, well, I won't turn around and say to them, okay, listen, you're not the right person for me. What I will do is I'll say, well, what about if we try it this way? But what I want you to do is I want you to send me on regular videos, regular feedback. Let's see the depths. Let's see how you move the weight. Let's see if we can fix different angles. Let's see what your angles are like on your toes or your feet. There's many ways that we can actually make the training more adaptable to that client, and I think that's key. I think you want to be making sure you're listening to your clients. You should never be in a situation where you're taking control. You should listen to what their needs are. If you're taking on a client and you're saying, okay, I think they should just do exactly what I'm doing, that's not the right person for you, and that's definitely not the right approach going forward.
Yeah, you can't do everything. You can't do everything for someone. Yeah,
no, it needs to be a dialogue, not a monologue.
Yeah, and I think as well that when you look at training, like at the end of the day, you want to be making sure you're in a situation where you're saving your energy. So if someone comes to you and is not coachable, this is why I always have this no bullshit approach. Like I'm the same as Jonathan, but on my consultation form, I get onto a call with them, and within the first 10 seconds, I'm saying to them, before they actually sign up with me, before we jump on this call, so say if I'm getting somebody on a call with me, and they're interested in doing the coaching, I'll get straight to the point. Let's say I'm talking to you, Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. Yeah. I'll just say, like, Jonathan, just to save your time and my time, if everything was to go to plan today, would you be in a position to invest?
No, I'm a cheapskate.
So that then I'd be saying to you, like, I'd be saying in my mind, okay, this person's not for me.
Of course.
So I'd be saying, listen, okay, let's just end the call. So I'm not wasting my energy. I've had a good day. I'm not wasting my energy having a 20-minute phone call with you when you're just going to make my life hell for the next 20 minutes. You're just going to drag as much energy out of me. So I'm just going to get rid of you as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, nobody's forcing you to do this stuff. Like you're coming to me. You're coming to me because you want to change your life. I know I can provide tools to help you do that. But if you're going to come on to me and start giving me all this rubbish about, I don't know if I can do this, or what about if I can have my curries at the weekend, or what about if I can have my alcohol at the weekend? You've been doing that for the last 20 years. Something has to change. You're coming to me because you want to change your life. So are you going to come to me and actually listen to me, or is this going to be like I'll listen to Mark on the odd occasion, but I'm going to take full control of myself? Like, seriously. So I just get straight to the point. You're either in or you're out.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Colt and Mark will also recognise the amount of messages we get each day, and each week from people. We can't, we give out so much for free, guys. Like if you go onto Colt's Instagram or Mark's Instagram, you'll see him put out all these little tidbits of information. The videos these guys make. I know Mark is very keen on making like reels and things, which is very valuable information. If you compiled all this information together, these guys and myself, we're spending hours each day trying to help people out, and that's without any pay. So we have to value and respect the time of our paying customers. So what we're doing is, each week or however often it is, we check in with our clients. We're focused on maximizing our time with them, and keeping them as a client, retaining them, and getting them the results we want. So, of course, if it might sound abrupt by Mark saying, I speak to people and I want to know if they're going to pay me or not. Yeah, of course. Mark's an expert in this field. His time is valuable. And for every time he sort of gets dragged down or enters in the rabbit hole of trying to help someone, but they don't really take the advice, he's just wasting his time and he's wasting theirs. So I can completely appreciate and understand that.
I think Jonathan, time is valuable.
Yeah.
I think if you're watching a coach for a while, I know when I took Colt on, I watched Colt for about a month before I eventually said yes, okay, I'm going to take this guy on, and it was just a gut feeling. That's all it was. It was just a gut feeling. But I never jumped on the decision. But I was never going to waste Colt's bleeding time. I was like in there. I was like, Colt, just send me the link. How much is it going to cost? Done. Didn't even have to think about it. I knew once we had the conversation. I was like, okay, I'm all in. And that should be the same for anybody. Anybody that goes towards Jonathan, it should be the same. Anybody who goes towards Colt, it should be the same. These guys want to look after you. These guys can get you the results that you want. But what they won't put up with is basically you wasting your time.
Yeah, that makes sense. Time is critical, guys. It really is. I mean, this kind of gets back to the point where Colt really, really outlined it very well. He is talking about him investing money into these like coaching, training apps and softwares and things. And yeah, they kind of do work if you got clients that are committed to using them and it works for you and them. At the same time, for a lot of people, it doesn't. Most of my coaching clients are 40 years of age plus. No one really is 20 years old that's completely tech savvy. So getting people to go from one platform to another is just another objection to coaching them. It's like another another elemental layer to prevent them from getting the help they need. So we keep it quite simple. I think most people nowadays have access to like Google Drive, document sheets, Word documents, email, this sort of thing. Chances are if they're booking you online, they've got email. I think that works quite well. So we've got our own methodologies, but I think they all work and they all have their pros and cons. And obviously, it depends as well what our clientele's like. So, some like Mark might deal with a lot of his clients through WhatsApp. I use Google Drive a lot and WhatsApp messages, sometimes Facebook messages. Then I have some clients which rely exclusively on Google Mail. So there's different ways to do it, but they all work at the end of the day. And I mean, have you noticed anything between yourselves which kind of method's been the most effective or most frequently used?
In regards what?
In regards to communication with clients.
Yeah, I just keep mine simple because I'm on the road pretty much every single day. So I'm not going to drive around with like a laptop in the car. So my phone is basically my work. Everything is done on my phone. So I find the best way to communicate with people is through WhatsApp. Because I can do voice calls. I'm not a big fan of texting. I hate texting. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. It takes too long. And with me, I'm dyslexic, so it's very hard for me to if I write something, it could take me nearly an hour to write it. Whereas if I speak, it's a little bit easier, and I can get my point. I can get my point across very, very quickly as well. So, and with WhatsApp, pretty much everything that I need is pretty much on WhatsApp, and that's all I need. I don't need to be sitting behind a laptop. Like I have a laptop at home, and very, very rarely do I use it. Very, very rarely. I'd rather just when I get up in the morning, my phone is in front of me. I get my few hours work done in the morning, and then 90% of my work is done before everybody else wakes up. So in the afternoon, I just basically answering questions. That's all I'm doing. I love that time in the morning when I just get up a little bit earlier, and I choose to do it because I know I have so much work to do, and I would rather do it when it's nice and quiet. So when I get up that little bit earlier, it's like, okay, I've got 3 hours here. Turn the TV off. It's nice and quiet. Let's just get stuck in. All I need is just my phone. I don't need any laptops. I can switch the lights off. It's just me and my phone. Get to work. Done. Then when it comes to about 9 o'clock, when the girls wake up, and then the day starts, my work is done. I can just get on with my day, and by that stage, then everybody's waking up, and I know I'm prepared because I'll probably get around 50 messages in about 2 hours. But I'm well prepared for that.
Yeah.
So every
Yeah,
one
I
of
can
them,
understand that.
so every one of them are going to get a quick reply. I'm not going to say, okay, listen, I'm gonna wait until the afternoon. You're getting a quick reply straight away, 100%.
Yeah.
Some people will either get a voice message. Some people will either get a video message, because at the end of the day, these people are investing in you. They're not investing in your service. They are investing in you. They want the best for come from you. If you're doing a service, and you're pushing yourself away from that, it's never going to be a good system for these people to do, because I find that if you give someone a service, but you're pushing you're pushing your time away from them, these people, eventually these people will actually leave.
Yeah, I completely relate to that.
Absolutely.
Colt, do you have any last thoughts before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I guess just in terms of what I use for what we use as far as communication goes with our clients, to answer your question, Jonathan, was it's just different for everybody because it is a people business, and you got to meet people where they're at, right? Some people, and Mark, oh dude, I am so envious of your ability to respond to text messages or WhatsApp messages that quick, because I can't say the same thing. I'm going to be completely honest. I can't do it, man. I go crazy if I do. And I got, people in different time zones and everything. And so it's like my phone's basically blowing up nonstop all day, every day, with Marco Polo, which is our video chat app. And that's what we use for during our workouts. So they'll video their form of their workouts and send them to me. And then during my workout, I just kind of let them pile up. And then I get back to all of them at one time when I can go, oh yeah, no, you need to have a little bit slower tempo. See, see, like this is how you do it. And so that's the, I guess what makes it kind of like it should feel like we're training in person, right? That's the goal, is because because most of these people I've never actually met in person. About half of them I have. I'm training about 20 people right now. And if it's someone that I don't know, it's like, man, the more that we can talk on video chat app, the better, because then I can see them, I can see their emotion. I can, there's a difference between someone saying, hey, I had a bad day with my diet, over text. Okay, that could mean one of a million different things. Someone was messaging us last week, and I was genuinely concerned about them. I thought they were like legitimately about to fall off the wagon. And I called them, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I just thought you would get a kick out of these pictures of this food because it looks so good." And I was like, "Oh no, dude, I thought you were literally struggling." But if it's over video, then I can see in someone's face that the eyes are the windows of the soul, right? And so then I can see, oh yeah, no, this person's doing okay. Wow, I should probably just drop what I'm doing and call them right now. How are you doing today?
Nice.
Some people, yeah. I mean, some people, if they can't finish their workout, it feels like the end of the world to them. And for me, I'm kind of the same way, so I can totally relate, and I totally get that. But to be able to, but I guess, Mark, to be able to respond to text messages on the fly the way that you do, I just can't do it, man. I don't know how you do it. Because Jonathan, you know what I'm talking about. just like what we were talking about earlier, something distracts you. Hey, my phone is off when I'm in the office, and I'm not answering nothing. And then
I get back to my clients within minutes in most cases.
You do. You guys are great.
Yeah, I'm on it. I don't have a client that ever has to wait more than maybe 5 minutes, unless of course I'm asleep, and in which case there's nothing I can do. I need to claim myself to get around that sort of hurdle. But
yeah, and for me, Colt, I know I can understand what you're saying, but what I'm saying is, when I get up in the morning and I have that 3 hours to myself, that's the time when I'm setting up programs, I'm setting up plans, all that kind of stuff. I'm not looking at my phone. Yeah, I'm not looking at any messages.
You're not in reaction mode. You're in creation mode.
No emails, no messages. All I'm focused on is doing the best plan for that individual. So I could have probably, tomorrow morning, I've got 15 plans to do in the first thing tomorrow morning. So I'll get them done in about 3.5 hours. And then I know then once it comes to 9 o'clock, because usually from 9 o'clock up till around 2, my phone, like you, doesn't stop. People are just asking me dumb questions, but I've no problem answering them, because that's what I signed up for. I have no problem answering a question, and then it dies down.
That's why they're paying you.
Yeah, it dies down around 2 o'clock till around 6 p.m. and then I might have 1 or 2 messages at nighttime. But honestly, I enjoy that because, as I said, for me, it's work, but I enjoy the work part of it first thing in the morning when I'm up early. I'm fresh. My brain is fresh. I'm raring to go. I wake up in the morning and I'm just raring to go.
Right.
That's cool stuff.
That's
Excellent.
Yeah,
Right.
my brain's not even on until I'm done with my workout. That's why all my consults, podcast recording, everything happens post workout.
Mine is the opposite. I like to get my work done, then get your workout done.
Yeah.
Right, gents.
Nice one. Excellent.
Yes.
Cheers,
Good
guys.
chat.
It's nice to see how you guys do things and how we all kind of do it a very similar sort of way, but we have our own unique kind of authentic way to get it across to people, you know, the plans and stuff. So it's nice to hear, and it gave me some different ideas as well. Like what Mark said, he's already told me before about the, you know, are you going to waste my time or not kind of cool, you know.
I think honestly, Jonathan, I think that's a great way, because I was actually told this years ago, and I was very, very nervous about doing it, but it makes a massive difference because it's either that person's going to sign up or they're going to waste your time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're literally told in the first minute. You know what I mean?
Totally. Thanks everybody so much for joining. This is every Tuesday. Yep, every Tuesday, 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'm gonna have to start reminding myself now. It's gonna be 1:30 p.m. Right? 1:30 p.m. Mountain time, because I'm moving in 3 weeks to a different time zone. And you guys, it's 8:30. So if you're in Ireland or the United Kingdom, 8:30 your time, and 1:30 p.m. on Mountain time. Every single Tuesday. This is what we're here for. Transformation Tuesday.
That's it, yeah. Cheers, Colt.
I don't think there's any coincidence that it happened that way. All right. Cheers, guys. Much love. We'll catch you next time.
See you there, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.